Endeavour Energy are an Australian power distribution company. We service around 3 million people in Sydney's Greater West, over the Blue Mountains and beyond, the South Coast, Southern Highlands in the Illawarra region. We operate the poles and the wires up from 132,000 volt transmission towers all the way down to the poles, wires and the underground cables that service our customers in the street. Australia is one of the most bushfire-prone nations in the world, and we need to make sure that nothing that could happen on our network could possibly start a fire that could burn out of control and impact our communities and our customers and the economy.
Every year, to ensure our customers' safety, Endeavour Energy inspects all of our poles and assets prior to the bushfire season. Previously, Endeavour Energy used helicopters for our aerial inspection process. In 2024, we transitioned to using drones.
We're using the drone program to carry out our pre-summer bushfire inspections. This allows us to efficiently capture images of the pole top, looking for any potential defects that may start a bushfire before the start of the next season.
In order to keep our community safe and keep the power on, we need to make sure that everything at the top of the pole is in good working order. To do that, we need a top-down view. Historically, we've done that with helicopters. However, the challenge with helicopters is often the top is obscured by vegetation, so we can't actually see what's going on there. The ability to use drones means we can go around vegetation, we can take shots underneath vegetation from the sides and all different angles, and we get a much closer view.
The drones are quieter and more environmentally friendly.
It's a much less obtrusive way of capturing these pole top images, so the customers are less disturbed. The quality of the images we get from the drones is much higher than it is from the helicopter due to the fact that we're much closer to the pole.
Helicopters used to take photos of every pole from a set position, and some of the issues we faced was vegetation, trees blocking our view. With drones, we can use our digital twin to actually identify where those poles are in 3D space and any vegetation, and actually route the drone around them to be able to get a photo the first time. Once we have our route generated, we pass that into the Unleashed platform.
All the routes are calculated and sent to our pilots. When the pilot gets to site, all they have to do is initiate one of the routes, and the drone will follow this pre-programmed route.
Those photos then get uploaded back into the Unleashed system and then transferred to our internal systems. The photos will then get reviewed by our specialist team looking for any sort of defects. If any defects have been identified, these are scheduled with our internal crews for rectification before the start of the summer season.
Unleashed Live is an image and video analytics company. We work with utilities on their large-scale infrastructure inspections. Being a software company, we can integrate the most powerful hardware such as the DJI M4T into our workflow. DJI has implemented features such as electronic dehazing, a telephoto lens, thermal imagery, and foreground stabilization. So all of these tools enable our customers and our AI teams to optimize their workflow. When you inspect large-scale infrastructure, you capture a lot of data, and the sheer volume of data makes it paramount to have an integrated workflow and the right hardware and software tools. Our work has allowed Endeavour Energy to plan their jobs better. We do that through job tasking from the cloud to the individual drone pilots. We also are able to create smart inspects, meaning we can capture the right images for the specific assets on the fly. That takes out the guesswork and enables safer and faster routing of the drones. And finally, we sync all of the data into the cloud, meaning you don't need to wait for the data to be analyzed. You have the data insights instantly.
So across our first year of flying drones, we've seen a 3 times increase in defects just due to the quality of the images we now get as opposed to a helicopter. The images captured allow for faster identification of defects, meaning that we're able to have a much safer and more resilient network.
We get a much closer view. We can see cracks, we can see little breaks in wires that might hold mains onto insulators. Anything that could potentially cause an issue, we can see with drones far better than we ever could with helicopters. Drones are much better from a customer's perspective. They're far quieter, they're less obtrusive, they take a tighter shot, so it's better from a privacy perspective than a helicopter. They're lower cost and they're much more environmentally friendly. It's around an 80% reduction in CO2 compared to helicopters. For our customers, this innovation means a more resilient network, power will stay on longer, when it goes off we'll be able to get it back quicker, and increased efficiency. In the future, we envisage that we'd have DJI docking stations at every one of our substations that would allow drones to both do autonomous inspections where it can capture a pre-programmed route to inspect our assets, and also to respond in real time to an emergency or a request from an Endeavour staff member to take a photo or imagery of an asset or a location. By undertaking these inspections now, it's proving out the autonomous routing technology to give us real confidence that when we move to docking stations, the technology will be able to fly the network without incident, keeping our customers safe and the network safe.